Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Beyond the Soul webinar, Experiencing Your True Self in the Higher Realms. I'm Lee. I'm here with Cindy. We are the volunteer Zoom hosts and so grateful that you are here. If you require any technical assistance through the webinar, please use the Zoom chat and reach out to me or to Cindy. We're going to begin in a sacred way with a light invocation. I have the privilege of introducing Alicia Das. Alicia is co-founder of Awake to Love and, to my knowledge, the world's foremost authority on the angelic realms. A blessing to be together. Alicia, please unmute and take us higher.
Beautiful. First of all, thank you so much, Lee and Cindy, and all gathered. It's just delightful to see you. All these beautiful, shining faces. Thank you for joining us on this Saturday. Let's really open our hearts to receive. So, unless you're driving, please just open your heart, gently close your eyelids as we call ourselves forward into the light. And beloved Lord God, we're so grateful to be gathered together today in the name of light, the higher realms, love, and all that is holy. We offer up to you, beloved Spirit, that holy longing we have to truly know ourselves, which is always God, on the higher realms, that be fulfilled today. That we be open, curious, focused, and in a place of receptivity to the Spirit. We ask that anything less than love, negativity, karma, imbalances just be taken untransmuted as we open into the light of the Holy Spirit, the light of the Christ, for the highest good, placing each one present, each one to listen to the archives into this most holy light. We open to all manner of spiritual assistance, the traveler consciousness, the preceptor, Christ, angels, by whatever name you know, divinity. Just simply call that in at this moment. We ask that our spiritual vision, spiritual knowing be open today. And Lord, we are so ready to know ourselves as the beloved. And so be it. Perish Bishan. Thank you all for being here. Please allow yourself to just keep traveling. We're going ever higher. Lee, did you want to say something before we begin?
Only the privilege of also introducing the fellow co-founder of Awake to Love. That's Michael, also Alicia's husband, FYI, and for those who may join the archives anew. Alicia reminded me Michael has been serving so many as a gifted spiritual counselor now for 47 years. And I am so blessed, as are many of us, to have participated in his facilitation of a way of God's remembrance and being a beautiful way shower to this opportunity to go even higher. So, Alicia and Michael, thank you and bless you.
I don't know if it was exactly 47 years. It might be a little bit less than that.
It's a little more, actually.
Oh, more. Wow.
It's 48 years.
Okay.
What's next?
So, thank you for joining us. So, our day is very much informed by you who shows up. We'll start with a little bit of sharing about the higher levels beyond the soul realm and specifically experiencing your true self within these levels. So, Michael will start. We'll probably sneak a meditation in there and then open up for some questions.
So, when we're talking about higher realms, I think first thing to know and to understand is that we're really talking about ways of trying to explain or, in a way, categorize uh, the infiniteness of God and the dimensionality of spirit. And there are different ways that this is done through different traditions, different spiritual paths. In the end, God is, and in in the end, we come back to the truth of what always was, is that we are always one with God, always part of God, and ultimately, we are extensions of God. We are the divine extended into the human expression. It's possible for us to come conscious once again of the truth of ourselves that extends far beyond form, far beyond even the upper realms or dimensions we're talking about. But knowing the reality of spirit and the reality of our true nature in these greater dimensions is possible. Now, the biggest challenge in many ways is in the higher reality, the realms beyond, of even in the soul, but especially beyond the soul, there is no memory. So, because there's no memory, we won't process it and we won't incorporate it into our paradigm of reality in the same way we would human experiences and human expressions, which then will create um, snapshots about it. I think the brain can process, they talk about 2 to 3 million pieces of information. They can't process, but we can, that much information is coming to us, and our brain can create a picture of between 6 and 10 pieces of information. So all our memory is little glimpses or little models we've created about what's actually going on. In the spirit world, it's even more infinite. And the biggest challenge in the whole process we're talking about is that to really know, to really have this cognizance of the spirit, even beyond the soul, the way we really get into it and really have it is to free ourselves from the illusion of our individuality. So it's a double talk. It's paradoxical that how you're going to have awareness of this reality of spirit that is the truth of you, that is the truth of all reality, the truth of every consciousness. But to have it more and more, you have to be less and less you. And there is the great enigma, because it's through the undoing of the self, through the undoing of the self, being freed of the illusion of I, that this greater consciousness becomes fully graspable and available. And the amazing thing is when that really becomes present, that you know this, you will know that you've always been this little spirit. And you realize that this performance you've been um, enacting here, this performance art, is really just that. It's just like an act being played out in service of a greater purpose of learning. And the ultimate learner is God, learning about its creative nature and its creative expression and the particular model or manifestation of reality that this world is. And this world, this planet is obviously part of this vast universe. And yet there are other universes that coexist with this universe, but their nature is so different. If you're in them as an awareness, you'll know it, but you'll be very hard pressed to define it and explain it. It might be an electrical universe, and differentiation there is just the difference of electrical pulse. It might be a gaseous universe, and then yet there's differentiations in the gaseous nature of things. And another beingness in there would just have a slightly different composition of gaseous form. These are levels of existence that exist right now, simultaneous to this. And the reality of us that many of us, through our higher nature, are partaking in those dimensions of reality simultaneously to playing in this. So it becomes almost ungraspable, undefinable to our minds. And so we have to accept this journey we're talking about. It's a journey beyond the normal paradigm by which we explain life and quantify life and, in a sense, define it so that we feel like we know our place in it and we have some control in it. I'm talking about a true letting go. And in that coming conscious of all that, we're going to more and more understand it as that conscious appears, that we're not doing it. We're letting go to that is always conscious, that we call God. And it's God activating awareness of itself in that part of itself that's been in this amnesia state, that is this human condition. So I'm talking about something that is paradoxical, but I'm talking about something that's very realizable, very knowable. It is something that is ever present. I'm talking about something that I'm very conscious of, but it's very hard to talk about, because how do you talk about being aware of its infiniteness other than say you have an infinite knowing? But as soon as you try to quantify it, you automatically revert back to the model of time and space. So then it's always going to be, in a sense, a lie or a distortion of what it really is, because you can't quantify the totalness of it. But what I'm telling you is you can know it. And why can you know it? Because it knows you all the time. It's knowing each and every one of you in your entirety right now. It is one with all of you as it is one with all that is. And all the paradoxicalness of it doesn't change that truth. And even as I'm talking to you, it is looking through each of you, activating in each of you a greater sense of itself. It's doing it. I'm not doing it. I'm aware of it doing it because I'm aware of it, but also I have awareness as it. This is the truth for all of us. So I may have an ability to do it that's past what you're doing right now, but that doesn't change the reality that it's the truth that we all share. I have been guided and instructed by my teacher, my master in the spirit, to let people know about this, that this is there and it is available and knowable for those that are ready and for those that really want it. But God is the one doing all of this. Even the things like sometimes called this force of remembrance that is constantly available to that conscious that is ready to come conscious. It's been called many things through time and space. Recently, we've been calling it the traveler consciousness, the mystical traveler consciousness. But that's a descriptive title that falls far short of what it is. Its immediacy, its presence is so complete that nothing exists or moves outside of it. Or we could say it in the inverse, it's inside of everything that exists and moves. It is always conscious in all conditioned space, conditioned time. There's three great keys to the mastering of what I'm talking about. I don't think I've talked about this before, but it's a simplification to say it, is that I'm inviting you to entertain the possibility, the reality that you can also experience, and the transcendence. And even that word it falls short. It's something I was told in the spirit to teach, to share about, but it's there's no word that adequately describes it. It's like transcending because it's ever active. And in the process of this, there will be sort of three main things that go on. There will be a freeing yourself from what I'm going to call somewhereness, like being somewhere, like there is somewhere to be. Some whenness, which means bring yourself, the time actually exists and there's a time for all of this, a time where you belong, and some oneness, freeing yourself from the idea that there is a someone, that you're a someone, that I'm a someone, that there are someones. And again, freeing ourselves from all that seems so impossible because how can we possibly relate but from those premises? We probably can't. So we will continue to play with those ideas and those really ultimately what we'll find are illusions, even as we come more conscious of this greater truth. Just the idea of trying to explain all this, I was in protest in the spirit pretty even right before this was starting, but with my teacher and the teachers that I work with in spirit, and many of you also work with. And it was, I just like, I really don't want to do this because I can't, because this is, you're asking me to talk about something that's untalkable. And they said, well, you talk about it. While you talk about it, we'll show it to them. I said, okay. So this is really about put up with my disjointed description of all this and receive from those that will give you an active experience, an active knowing, an active communion with this. Along the way, we may talk about upper worlds, upper levels, and all that, but there's not a lot to say because it's so hard to translate the truth of it into language here. But there is differentiation in all these different realms beyond this. And then there's even differentiation above the 27 levels that have been talked about above the soul realm. There is consciousness there. There are the silent ones. There are master forms. And there is even a God form beyond that that is living in us all and moving through us all and is instructional to all this. So I'm kind of throwing out this mix of possibility and letting you know you're invited into conscious connection, conscious experience, and ultimately conscious expression of this greater truth of the divine that lives through all things. I think there's enough confusion for the moment.
Hopefully they're not confused. What were those three things? You've never said that to me.
I told you.
What were they?
There's some awareness,
Mm-hmm.
some wenness,
Mm-hmm.
and some oneness.
Very clever.
Well, that's I'm only telling you what I've experienced and seen and been shown and everything I'm talking about is something that I've been taken into and taken through or taken above, taken into, however you describe it. It's just what is so. But there is a God that is in all of it, that individuates itself as a function in functional ways, but never individuates itself in the way we think of separation. So even the great functions of that one God, sometimes we might call the Christ or this the traveler or Buddha consciousness or the silent ones or any other name, it is still always entirely present in all those. But the individuations are to serve a function. But they aren't true individuations because they've never really apart from that one that is God. And that one is the true host of this event in all the events to go forth from here. So be open and receive and let go and let God. And let's have fun. Take over.
Oh, am I supposed to be the fun one?
Yes.
We are gonna have fun because what is more joyous than this, right, beloved? So just take a moment, unless you're traveling in those higher realms beyond the soul realm, just take a moment and let's just align our energy. So I want you to let go of any limiting beliefs that you don't know how to clear your aura, that you don't know how to clear your chakras. We're just going to open ourselves to be in an even clearer field so we can more easily experience what Michael's talking about. So just take a moment and I'm having you use your hands and your arms because that engages your basic self, and then they are more willing to let go. So just take a moment and be aware of the light between your hands. Go ahead and cup your hands up and be aware of the light pulsing between them. See, that is much you. That is as much you as your hands. That space between them. In fact, it's more you. So be aware of that space, that which is beyond what Michael called some oneness. That space is who you are. You are your hands and your body as well, and many bodies and many differentiations, but ultimately who you are is that space. So let your hands just drift out a little further as the you that is in the space becomes bigger than the you that is within space. And so your hands just naturally start to drift out, marking that you-ness or that no oneness in that space. And you just send the light to your basic self and let them sleep in the arms of the traveler while you travel onward and upward. You're safe. And your hands naturally expand out. And that is you between the hands, much more than your hands or your body. And your hands expand out further, reminding you that you are eternal, that you are not somewhere, you're everywhere and nowhere. And your hands keep expanding out and near that space, even more than anything you've known in this life or any life. But this space that is you, which is spirit, which is essence, is more familiar to you somehow than your own breath. And now as your arms are extended out fully, just arch back and open yourself to receive even more. That love, that awareness, that is you, and surrender. And expand. And now you are so vast, you can just gently bring your hands down and let them rest. Because no one can contain the you that is not you, but is all love. And so you keep expanding out in your essence. The spirit joining in and commingling. That you start potentially to be aware as you drift out and touch the sides of the room you're in now. Of a vast presence here with you, but not formed, no form. You see, as you connect to these formless presences, you know your own formlessness. And now you expand out still that space, that essence that is you, to flow all through the building, the home you're in. It says, Whitman said, I am large, I contain universes. Yes, and now expand out. This goes rapidly now to fill the city, the state, the world. And now you start to travel up through the created realms, well beyond the physical, through the astral, the causal, and it happens in a twinkling of an eye, the mental, the etheric, the soul, and now well beyond. Yes, you can. Upward through the levels. And now we're going to have a moment of silence so you can keep traveling and be aware. Just listen. You may chant your tone or you may listen for the sounds. Or perhaps it's simply a knowing of the higher realms. And be aware, perhaps, of this presence with us in this space, which is a silent one. And just come present for all to lift us into that high country. So take the assist and surrender again and lift higher. And as you lift even higher, perhaps there is a prayer. Holy Spirit, God, continue me on well past identification with somewhere, someone, sometime. Let me sacrifice all that in this moment. For this space, this essence is who I am, and that I contains all. Now drop that reference point and lift higher, allowing spirit, the traveler, to take you even higher. And now hone your awareness a bit more. What do you inwardly see? Or hear? What do you know? One last time, lift higher. Going to never close this meditation, but simply bless it as you continue to travel on. And if you like, you can also be aware of God looking out through you, inhabiting this body, in this room, in this place with each of us. That space, that holy space, has taken up the sacred temple of your body for a short time to experience all the realms simultaneously. And so give thanks, a heartfelt prayer of thanks. And gently just affirm this then is who you are in the higher realms, the essence of love itself. Amen. Dictionary?
Yeah, Mr. Lee too.
Okay, yeah. So continue to travel onward. And Lee, if you would lead us into sharing.
Thank you, beloved Alicia. Thank you, beloved Michael. I'm going to share guidelines for questions. Questions are to be about beyond the soul and what Michael and Alicia have shared. To ask a question, please raise your Zoom hand. You can find that by hovering near the bottom of your Zoom window. Click on the React button. A pop-up appears. Choose Raise Hand. Please also turn on your video for full participation. If you are on a low bandwidth connection and are unable to, so be it. Most important, and since so many of us have had the blessing of sharing with Michael and Alicia over so many years for assistance in personal clearings, this is not that. Questions are to be for your benefit, the benefit of those of us who are gathered, and those who will participate via the archives. Michael and Alicia are available for personal questions all through the week, easy to schedule by visiting the Awake to Love website. And thank you so much for your cooperation.
And thank you, Lee. If you'd like to share, please raise your digital hand. I'm guessing we're all Zoom experts by now. If you don't know how to raise your digital hand, it is right under, should be right at the bottom of your screen under raise hand. And if you can't find that, reach out to Lee, please. And so, Michael, who would you?
There's
Oh,
those two. I can see there's two.
Carrie, go ahead. Sorry, Carrie Judith Jacoby. I can't see that last name.
It wasn't allowing me to unmute. Now it is. Um, Hi, Michael. Hi, Alicia. I know Michael better because I've known him for all those years you've been doing the. I have a very, very, very early of you giving me a consciousness counseling. So way back in the 80s. So I'll vouch that you've been doing it. Okay, I don't know how this fits, but I love this higher. I somehow I get it, but I don't have the direct, I have the experience, but it's not on this side. I don't know how to explain it, but what's bothering me is that I'm dealing with some really disturbing news. And it seems to be coming in more. It has to do with control stuff. And it pulls me away from even the beautiful meditation that you were doing and the talk you were giving. It's like I'm being pulled into this outer distraction of dealing with some pretty serious stuff. And well, to me, it is. And then I go into the judgment, which pulls me even further out of that consciousness. And it's not, it's even a subtle judgment. It's not like an overt one. It's like suddenly I notice I'm judging that I'm getting also disturbed when I could be in this other beautiful, uplifting, going into the upper realm space. And it's like push, pull, push, pull. So I don't know that that's a question, but if you have some suggestions, and I don't know if that's what we're doing here, frankly.
Well, I have something really quick, which is, and yes, that's what we're doing here. We're not doing personal, but I think that's something we can all relate to, getting distracted from going up higher, resisting it, etc. One thing that can help is our basic selves are precious and amazing, and they keep us engaged in our karma and engaged in this world so we can learn the lessons of the physical world as well as the upper realms. So sometimes our basic self, though, gets frightened of, because when you go into that space, you are no more. You exist as essence, you exist as spirit, you're formless. And that can be frightening to the basic self. So what I've heard a lot of success with this when people simply connect with their basic self, even if you haven't done it all that much. The basic self, for those who are new to that concept, is it can appear as a younger part of us because it's a very innocent part of us, and it's different than the inner child. The inner child is, this is according to J.R. John Roger, is the repository of psychological unfulfillment. The basic self, J.R. would say, go to with hat in hand, with great sacredness. We need to direct them so we don't just, eat the chocolate and watch TV and do the things all the time, right? We need to direct them, but they have our karmic blueprint and they're directly in touch with our high self. So if you put your basic self in your arms, and just tell them that you're going to hang out with whomever they'd want to hang out with. It could be an angel, it could be your teacher, it could be, Mother Mary, whomever feels safest to you. You're going to hang out, sit on JR's lap. While I travel higher, you're safe. Let me go. Let me go. I'll be back. And sometimes just that feeling of being grounded and safe can assist you to just keep going. Do you want to add anything?
I think that was a nice key to help us, let's say, get out of the distraction and going to suggest to you that the way you frame your dilemma, which is the way we pretty much all will frame our dilemma, is that there is this distraction that's keeping me from where I want to go. And I'm going to just suggest to you that who you really are is who you always are. Who you always are is pure awareness. And in a sense, you are already with God. You are already there. And the thing you're describing is part of what metaphysically is sometimes called the great path of becoming, where I've got to change things. I've got to, it used to be I've got to clean up my world and perfect things so it won't distract me. Or I have to go to a monastery or a cave where it won't distract me because there's nothing to distract me. I'm suggesting to you that the ultimate distraction is that approach of thinking that I have to get free of this to have that. See, that paradigm is a paradigm that we work and work and work. And at some point, that paradigm for you, for me, for everybody will actually just collapse. And you'll just know that no matter what I do, it will never be enough. No matter how hard I try, I can't make this happen. And in a strange way, when you really have that realization of the futility of it, that whole part of consciousness that's trying to make it happen just starts to just go, oh, and it lets go. And that letting go, that opens the door for this knowing of this truth of what is always so. There's nowhere we can go where God is not. You could be totally fixated on a soap opera or any distraction here. None of that changes the reality of the spirit that you exist in entirely. And so that model of this, just the very idea that this distraction is keeping me from God, is a fundamental illusion. Nothing can keep us from God because there's nowhere God is not. The distraction's God too. So we're taught that the first law of spirit is acceptance, but a key word that parallels acceptance is allowance. And so allowance, we just allow it. Why? Because God's allowing all these things to take place. God is allowing all of these things to happen for all of us. God's placed itself in this land of distraction and created a condition where the distractions are so powerful and so prevalent, so persuasive that all our instincts and our natural biological responses are drawn to them. So God obviously wanted to have the experience of this. So you go to that first law of experience and allowing God, and you just be the God that wanted to experience the distraction of those things.
That is very helpful, that imagery, that, and along with the basic self, but mine sits on JR's lap most of the time. So, and we're
I was,
very connected.
and
But
I love that. And that was a great tool because that can definitely help us with the distraction.
mm,
Mm, Good.
That's okay.
Oh,
Good.
so, uh, you
well,
want,
the other thing is that God really has been taking care of me. Well, JR, God, JR all fall into the same group for
yeah.
me. And very much many miracles of related to health have been taking place. And I seed, and then it's just like, oh, why did I get so upset and disturbed? Because there it is, seeding works. And because I'm making God my partner, not because of the physical act of just seeding, but that I'm focusing on God being my partner. And oh, well, so whatever happens, it's God's there and God's got it. And it's very joyful. But while I'm in the midst of it, before it goes one way or the other, or I have the information, then it's when I get into the disturbance the
Yes.
most.
All right. Well, now, so
Okay,
now you
well,
know. Now you know better.
Okay.
Thank
well,
you.
I
Thank
thank you both so much. I got great, that was really great, bringing God into that this is something God wants to experience. Fine. Who am I to get in the way of that?
All right.
Makes it
Thank
better.
you.
Thank you. I love both of you very
Thank
Me
much.
you.
too.
Of
You too.
course, Alicia, I don't know you like I know Michael, but thank you.
My pleasure.
All right.
Okay, so if you'd like to share, raise your hand. We're going to prioritize people who haven't shared with us. And I just want to ask, we have a blessed brother present named Brian. So if we could all send all of our love and light to Brian. To Brian at this time, we love him so much, and we're so glad you're here with us. So if we could just send so much love, light, and healing to Brian, we'd be very grateful. And if you want to share, Brian, just raise your hand. But we just want you to know that we love you. Okay, so is there anybody there we haven't shared with? I don't think so. Have we shared with him? Tim Cloutier, we're wondering if we've shared with you. So let's go ahead and unmute Tim.
I don't think so. I
I
mean,
don't think so either.
not counting you and I in USM classes, but
Great. No, that doesn't count.
right. Um, so yeah, I just wanted to share briefly because I found it really interesting and surprising when you did the process, um,
The meditation?
the meditation,
Okay.
and I got to the place of feeling the formlessness. It really felt wonderful. And what it kicked up was this intense sense of longing and like a hunger, maybe a tinge of mourning. I'm not positive, but it was so strong and caught me totally by surprise. Um,
Hmm.
yeah, I mean, I don't know that I have a specific question. I just felt like I wanted to share that because I've never experienced that before.
Hmm.
So any observations you have about that, I'm happy to listen to.
That's something. Um, Tim, I think that many of us, if not all of us, could raise our hand to that. I have two hands and a foot in the air on that one, because it can bring up I call it a holy longing. And it's that longing to not have this seeming separation of body and of form, right? To be completely one with that essence. And when you say a grieving, we love ourselves. We're very used to ourselves, right? And it's a death of sorts. It's actually an ultimate birth, but it is a death of self. And so, are you guys hearing our dog being incredibly annoying and obnoxious in the background, or are you not hearing that?
I don't hear
We're
Okay,
not
good.
hearing it at all, thanks to your
Okay.
outstanding new microphones.
it.
Honey, since I can't get out of here, would you just shut the door so we don't hear him quite so obvious? We just set up our studio again in the Palisades, but we're in a much smaller space, so it's tiny. Um, so there is a grieving and a death because we are letting go of this blessed self, which is very familiar, right? And even letting go of self at all. So of course there is a grieving. So we want to, if that comes up, to allow ourselves to experience that. So grief does not need a long time often.
Hmm.
It needs dedicated time, meaning that if that comes up, you allow yourself to feel it fully. Tears might come, whatever comes, allow yourself to just experience that. You will move through it so much faster if you're in complete acceptance and surrender. So actually, everyone, right now, if we can just all take a moment and just put a hand on our heart and a hand on our belly and just be aware of your humanity under your hands, that precious, precious self, and flood them with light. And be aware that God is incarnate in this body, as God is incarnate everywhere. And so what we're not so much saying goodbye. We are saying hello to the remembrance of who we truly are. And so we're multidimensional, which is, do you know, John Roger used to say souls line up to get on this planet, you know, and because it is so hard here, but that means we grow so much faster, so much faster. So it's that multidimensionality that we need to learn to dance with. And it's not easy. It's, you know, God is participating in this level and loves this level and is fully imbued in this level. And who I am is the space, is the essence, is the formlessness, is love. And we also can check if that grief or that sadness or that, usually it's resistance, comes up. We can also check and see, sorry, I'm just adjusting the camera. Trying a new camera and it's being very stubborn. So we also, sorry, let me just, the AI tracking hijacked us. Hijacked our shot. Sorry, guys. You're seeing behind the scenes here. There we go. That's better. AI. Huh?
Just leave it alone.
Okay. So everybody, if you would just cup your hands in front of you now together and just place into your hands like they're a chalice any resistance to the higher realms, any attachment to being someone, to there being some time or somewhere. Place that into your hands. And in the miracle of this collective intention, we're going to let that go. At least a little bit, and then a little bit more, and a little bit more. So place into your hands that familiarity, that comfort of self. And thank your beautiful self. Close your hands tight around that. And on the count of 3, we're going to lift it up. 1, 2, 3, and lift it up and give that to your true self, that space, that essence. And let's now each do forgiveness for any of the times where we stopped ourselves from past lives, from this life. Just if you're in a space where you can do so out loud, I forgive myself for judging myself, for stopping myself from knowing the truth of who I am, which is spirit, essence, the space. I forgive myself for judging any past lives where I stopped myself from traveling the high country because of fear, grief, or attachment to self. I forgive myself for judging myself for any of the times, past or present, that I ever stopped myself from traveling the high country because of attachment to self, to time, to space. And I sacrifice the known right now for the unknowable. Because you see, who you are is beyond knowing, beyond understanding. It is pure love. So for you specifically, Tim, and I'm sure many of us, there are, you might want to, if that grief comes up, do forgiveness of any past times where you stopped yourself, probably past lives where you stopped yourself from experiencing the ultimate ecstasy of existence, right? And you may need to do that several times. We all need to do that from time to time. That's what I have for you.
Thank you. That was beautiful.
Thank you, Tim.
Nice to see you again.
Yes, you too.
Yeah. Do we have anything?
Nope.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so again, looking for people that we haven't shared with a lot. Plus, remember, guys, we have another webinar, which is December 4th, Thursday at 6:30 p.m. Pacific time. So you can certainly raise your hand to share there. And then we have a workshop where we'll have tons of time for sharing on the December 20th. So, Michael, you can't talk to me. I'm going to say, is there anybody who has their hand raised that hasn't shared with us? Otherwise, we will I don't think so. Have we shared with him? Jason, have we shared with you? Let's unmute Jason. This is JP Jansky.
Oh yes.
Okay.
We've certainly shared, but I'm happy to, but I put my hand up after a lot of these other lovely people, so welcome to.
Well, you're here now. Grab the mic here.
Okay. Well, my name's Jason. I've been very aware of this sort of impetus to just share and express more out in the world, and whatever that, at least within my capacity to do so. Whether that's on social media or within my network of people that I know. And it's not any one specific thing, but it includes the things that are most important to me, which is this soul awareness, soul transcendence. And I guess I'm really open to any input you have about how to do that in the clearest way possible. The energy that I experience is just go for it. And I feel like something's opening up that wasn't perhaps before, where it's like just now is a great time to just really be open. But I also want to be in line with what's for the highest good. I mean, even just in sharing, it's like my heart is pounding. And I'm ready to really expand more into this. But I'm wondering if there's some suggestions on maybe what works for you, because I consider the two of you very adept at finding ways of putting it out there, and I love that, and I'm inspired by that, and I want to do more of that for myself and express myself.
So just so we're clear, are you clear on this question? Because if you are, go ahead. We're not entirely clear on what.
He's asking
Well,
about
so I'll just use this here.
out, but I don't have any answer for it.
Well, I'll use an example. You sent out this email for doing this series, sharing about something that's very sacred and beautiful. And I'm curious, what's your process, or what's the best way to approach that? Because I'm doing my best to just go with what's authentic within when I'm prompted to just go out and share. But I guess there's part of me that's worried that I'm going to, I don't know, mess up or maybe get karma or something like that. So I guess it relates to this thing about above soul, because again, this is the work that's most important to me, and I'm looking at how can I more effectively share that in the world.
Do you have something? No. Well, certainly, there's a lot of logistical ways to share in the world. And
Yeah, but that to me, that's not what the question is. It's about like, how do I do that in a way that's spiritually clear?
oh, thank you. Now we got the question.
Go
Okay.
ahead.
How do you do that in a way that's spiritually clear? I have a bit on that, unless you have something. No?
No, not the way you framed the question.
Mm.
Jason, you have karma from another lifetime where you were a false prophet,
Hmm.
where something that was less than the truth of the spirit came to you and excited you and thrilled you and gave you a powerful experience
Hmm.
of incredible aliveness, incredible togetherness, incredible capacity. And when that happened to you, you moved with it because you felt called, ordained, and you felt you could do it.
Yeah.
And
And that fits with my question because
yeah, and but
I don't
because
want to I don't want to move on something that's not real. That's not
right,
the
well, that
highest good.
happened. That's so what you're sensing is a form of protection, that which is called, I was burned, I don't want to be burned again. So it's a caution, but sometimes that caution can be overdone in us. And so we actually are holding back when there is true instruction or true guidance or true incentivization from spirit to share. The more we can um, uh, understand, we're letting go and letting God and letting something greater speak through us or come through us. It may come through us and where they're silently holding, or it may come through us and we're speaking words. But it's always about, as Jesus was quoted as saying, of myself, I can do nothing. It is the Father through me doing his own work who accomplishes all things. So, so it's getting out of the way and letting something greater come through. Right. One of the big ways to kind of track if it's negativity versus something that's truly of the spirit is negativity will make you feel so much better about yourself. It will make you feel more capable, more able, more worthy, more ready. Uh, and the spirit will actually free you from yourself. It'll actually take you out of yourself. If anything, you may feel totally unready and unworthy and incapable, but I just have this impulse. I just have to do it, and I just have to open my mouth, and it will happen. But not because you're ready, you're worthy, or you're special.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of like it's just taken me over, and it it's the call to give voice to it is stronger than all my fear that I'll voice the wrong thing. So this applies for all of us.
Yeah. It feels like such a fine line in my
Well, it's
consciousness.
the fine line is watch is it if that which is compelling you is creating a greater sense of you
Hmm.
inside you, a greater sense of your own ability, capacity, specialness, worthiness, readiness, etc. Now it's funny because in the world we want that, so we'll feel more confident and we'll feel more ready. But if we're talking about dealing with the spirit, it works almost in the inverse.
Hmm.
So
That's helpful because I've been aware of almost like both sides of it. The part that's like the ego of like, yeah, let's go do this. I'm gonna, get out there and like put a brand on it or an identity, but there's this other part of me that's like, but I don't care about that. I'm not even interested in that really, because I just want to share the loving. I just want to share what's authentic.
let the loving share you.
Mm. Mhm.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Nice to see you.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Um,
I don't think there's anybody we haven't shared.
No, I think it's
Who's Natasha? I don't know. I don't know which Natasha that is.
that's who I thought it was. Hello. Let's unmute Natasha, please.
I didn't know which
And-
Natasha, but okay.
And
She's a nice and tall.
need to fix the door.
You got to fix the door.
Mhm.
All right.
But let's go ahead and see Natasha.
Go ahead, Natasha.
Hey, Michael. Hi, Alicia. Thank you guys so much for doing this. And gosh, God bless you. What a blessing to be in your presence.
Oh,
Here is what's coming present to ask. When Michael started sharing, I was really present to his sharing. Like it was so clear. I was really getting it. And then as Alicia took us through the meditation, I experienced a clarity afterward as well, almost like someone had wiped my eyeballs with some Windex. And my question has to do, and then when we started doing the self-forgiveness piece that Alicia was leading us through, I experienced fear coming up in all kinds of levels. And this comes back to my question because I find that when I do SEs, sometimes when I come back, I'm all muddled. And as I was contemplating, I'm muddled in my physical body and my thoughts. And as I was contemplating asking this question, what I remembered was Michael's comment about the soulic ego and how the soulic ego can interfere or can try to hold us back. So Alicia gave us a great tip on how to work with basic self. And I'm wondering what maybe you guys can say about working with a soulic ego or any other part of consciousness that creates this muddledness or could create a muddledness or some, stand in the way of that clarity.
Hmm.
Or did I just make all this up?
No.
no, I think we can all relate to that as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's something that is suggesting. It's this will sound funny, but
While he's doing that, I'm going to be completely inappropriate and fix the backdrop again.
as if
You
they
guys will be shocked to know that that's a cloth and not an actual wall.
I'm sure they don't really care, but obviously you do. So
We just got back to the Palisades, so
okay,
things are not set up.
Let's do the sharing.
Okay.
Running out of time doing decorations. So you can look in your conscious to try and figure out what is being thrown forward to obstruct. So if there's a fear, usually if it's coming out of what we would call that soulic ego or that, which is really just the story of our individuation through all time and space. If it's coming out of there, it's going to throw something out of the unconscious that happened in some place, sometime, some way, as evidence that you should stop what you're doing, that you should hold back. So you could go and try and track that, which is what I'll do. However, there's another way to do it if you can do it and you're willing to do it, which is if you're starting to frame it as there's something between me and God, you've got to understand that what we're after is a God that includes me and includes that which is trying to obstruct the awareness. So it's almost like you change your frame. It's like you got a frame of myself. Oh, I'm having this great experience, and now there's something coming in and muddling up the experience. I'm opening myself to the awareness of that's watching the whole thing. That's watching the me is coming more awake and watching that which is attempting to muddle that awakening. And there's the truth of reality which is I am also that truth that is watching the whole thing play out. And suddenly you're actually outside the whole game.
So that is actually an experience that I can say I've on some level experienced. The muddling that occurs is when I come back into the body.
See, the reality is, the reality is who we really are. The truth of us never comes back into the body. Truth of us always exists beyond the body. We reconnect to that identification because it's purposeful for us to do that, but in truth, we're never really that. And so recognize that, oh, you're getting caught because you're re-identifying with the body.
Mm.
But you don't have to re-identify with the body.
Just wander through the day with my head in the clouds.
No, just wander through the day with your head everywhere.
Mm.
Head in the clouds, feet in the sand, head in the clouds,
Mm.
because God's in all of it.
Mm. Yeah.
Yeah. See, you may have an experience of being muddled, or you have experience of clarity, and the reality is who you are is always clarity. And the one you really are contains the muddle and contains the clarity and
Mm.
contains all that.
Mm.
There you go. And this will work for all of us because this is how it really works.
Beautiful. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'll just say something really quick, which is that soulic ego could be thought of as the soul attached to the soulic ego attached to even being soul. But it's funny, we say soul transcendence, and that sounds like it's soul transcendence really means transcending the soul. We're not transcending in the soul, we're transcending the soul. And so something that could assist is something I overheard JR saying to somebody years ago. And I went, I'm going to do that. And I was doing sound and he was talking to somebody, and which is to just, and we can all do this now, just, and again, this is my interpretation of what he said, but to see a brilliant stream of light going up from you. So as you travel up, there's going to be distractions and I can't do this and what if, but you stay right in that laser beam of light going up, 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 and whatever the distractions are, they are not in that laser beam of light, only your awareness is. So it, and then you can keep taking that up as far as you need to, beyond the distractions and beyond the muddle. And once you get up high enough, you start to surrender and allow the experience of the almost.
Thank you.
Sure. Thanks, dear. Okay, we at 12:20. I think we have time for one more pithy one.
Natalie Franks.
Natalie Franks, please. And the rest of you join us next time and raise your hands and we'll try to get you in.
Hi, excuse me. Hi, Michael. Hi, Alicia. Thank you for doing this. In my SCs recently, well, not recently, for the last kind of year or 2 years, I've been experiencing the nothingness. And I'm not complaining, but there is just nothingness. But there is this peace that surpasses understanding. And sometimes I still do my Cs like every day, religiously, devotionally, but I'm just wondering if I'm stuck in something or is this the course, is it just fine and I should stop worrying and just keep on keeping on?
Well, we're always going to keep on keeping on. That's the eternally traveling consciousness. So there's always more. See, the no thingness, the nothingness, the no thingness is that's an experience of the truth. There's another, yeah, the going on for you would be going on. Um, see, you're still experiencing it, which means you're still the experiencer. The beyond that would be to be no things. But I remember at Sutstock, I said, moving beyond somewhereness, some wenness, and some oneness. And the protest against that will come out of that soulic ego, that sense you're getting beyond that sense of the story. And so you're starting to experience reality as spirit, but there's still you having the experience of spirit. Flip it inside. When you get there, just affirm that you are, or know that you are spirit experiencing. The difference in that is you'll move beyond the nothingness to the experience of the nothingness. You'll move into you'll experience both the no thingness of it and you'll experience the everythingness of it. When you experience both, you'll experience God is beyond all things and God is in all things. And so there's nowhere God is not. So you're simultaneously you experience consciously. You can experience consciously in all creation and beyond creation. See, the difference there is very dynamic and active because creation is dynamic. And what you realize you are awareness, an awareness into the intangible. So there's no way to talk about it, frame it, define it. So it's like not like there's nothing there, but there is. There's what's there is this incredible intense love and this incredible peace. So you're getting there, but now flip it from the nothingness to include into the everythingness, the allness. So it's kind of like you're going, you're going up into, it's like you've gone up into the Godhead. But the next level of potential is the knowing of that Godhead and the activation of that knowing of the Godhead consciously down through all aspects of God, which includes all of God, what God has created. Okay? That's what is the next phase of that. I know what you're talking about. I know where that is, and I'm telling you what's next is that.
Yeah, it's very, very, you can't put it into words. It's impossible.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. I
Just
know
impossible.
I'm lying to you, but it's the everyness, the allness and the everythingness of it.
I'm not complaining. I just, making
No,
sure
well,
I'm on the right track.
no, it's great to know you. It is, but you're just in another part of that. There is well, I could say in my experience, there is a process to it. See, my experience is that God, or we could call it that force of that comes out of God, the traveler conscious takes the consciousness and it, in a sense, introduces the consciousness to all that is. And for me, it would interest me to this. Okay, this is the 27 levels. Okay, this is the Trinity of creation, and this is the silent ones, and then there's things even beyond that. But it would be like, and it literally is, it's instructing it, it's instructing that aspect of itself that's been in the forgetfulness and bringing it back into the remembrance of the totality of itself and its place in that totality. And so that aspect of itself that's been playing Natalie is being reintroduced to the truth of itself in all of itself.
I'm so grateful that you're here on the planet, Michael, so I can ask you that question. Thank you.
And I'm happy to answer it because I agreed to do this. Bless you.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
Thank you.
Thank you. Peter is crooked.
I know. I'm gonna fix it.
Don't worry about it. They don't care.
While your eyes were closed, Alicia, the camera decided to track over onto Michael.
Oh, that's fine.
Time for one more.
No, we're done. It's 12:28. We end at 12:30.
Oh,
But we're going to end with a message and a blessing. But I just want to remind you that we have the second part of this. Can they still see us? I just see you, Lee. I don't know if everybody else is.
Absolutely. Remember, we only do the spotlighting when you're sharing with someone. Otherwise, it's each participant's choice for how they want to set up their screen.
Okay, so we have the part 2 of this free webinar series on December 4th, Thursday at 6:30 to 8 Pacific time. And then we have the workshop where we're going to go much more in depth and have a lot more time for sharing and go really more higher, wider, deeper. That is Saturday, December 20th. I think at 10 a.m.
10 to 5, 10 to 3.
10 to 3, so a full 5 hours. So please do join us. And Cindy has put the link in the chat. So join us for that. And let's send you into your Saturday with a message and a blessing. So I'll start and we'll let Michael take us home. So as I was holding the light, as Michael was sharing, I became aware of just trillions of angels singing the praises of God coming into this gathering. So I hope you sensed that beautiful benevolence and celestial host with you. If not, then open your hearts now to really receive that ecstatic blessing from the archangelic straight to your hearts. And what I hear them say is, thank you, brave humans, for being willing to gather these physical experiences for God, our Father, Mother. Please know we walk with you if you allow, uplifting you, healing you, comforting you. We are truly all one. There is no one else here but the oneness. So be aware as you experience the higher realms, as you experience even just for a moment, the truth of who you are as one with Spirit. Those moments string together like the most beautiful necklace of light. And as that necklace is laid upon your chest, you dissolve into that light, transcend, ascend. No more pretending. We are here celebrating you, cheering you onward and upward. This is why you incarnated, why you've embodied time and time and time again, to get to this moment of true transcendence. Again and again until it becomes all of who you are. And so again, we thank you and we love you.
Blessings to all. Thank you for participating with us, for coming into remembrance and knowing again the truth of your spirit nature. God loves itself and all that it is and all that it will ever be and all that ever could be in the timelessness of its truth. And it offers forth the blessing of awareness to all that would partake. So partake and bless you, and we will hopefully do this again soon. And so be it. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you.
Thank you. We love you. See you in a few weeks. We hope for the next webinar and then for the workshop. Have a glorious Thanksgiving. Let's unmute everyone so they can say goodbye.
God bless
Thank
you
you so
guys.
much.
Thank you.
Thank
God
you
bless
so much.
you.
Thank
Bye,
you.
everybody.
Love you
Wonderful.
guys.
Great
Thank
day.
you.
Well,
Thank you,
blessings.
Alicia.
Thank
Oh,
you.
Thanks,
thank you.
Michael.
Happy
Thank you so
Thanks,
much.
Tuesday.
God bless
Thank you,
you all.
Michael.
Thanks,
Thank you,
Kathy.
Alicia.
Bye.
Beautiful sharings.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Light, light, light,
Bless
light.
you.
Love,
Bye-bye.
love,
Much love.
love.